Alright everyone, we are back in Warframe and we are going to do our next versus. So, you guys know how this series works. When I come in here and we just hang out really and talk about whatever frame we're on. So today we have Vauban. So Vauban actually got a rework recently. And I'll be honest with you guys, he is so much better now than he was. Because yeah, he's kind of like... essentially what I would consider him is like trap master, I guess you could call him in a way, because he likes, his abilities are essentially putting down traps and stuff. And so that's essentially what he does. But he is built pretty well and everything like that, so there's that as well. So he's kind of a tank, sort of not. It's kind of, he's a decent frame, I'll say. But his rework definitely has improved him a ton, I think, honestly, because I actually used to not use Vauban at all, just because he kind of was a frame that drove me crazy, honestly. But now that they changed him up, he is more fun to use now. So I do like to pull him out more now. And yeah, so another thing to mention is that Vauban Prime, this guy right here, he was my last Prime I have needed him for a long time, and they finally unvaulted him along with, oh, who was the other one? Ash. So if you guys want to grab them, you probably should. I'm sure they're going away in a couple months or so. So you might want to look into grabbing them before they disappear forever, because Vauban, for me, and also Hooven. Hooven also had only Vauban left as well, so we were slacking on our Prime game just because we didn't have Vauban, and we didn't have him for almost a year, I would say, probably. But, so, I'm thankful that they finally unvaulted him for us, and we just instantly bought him. We're just like, screw it, we're buying him, so we just bought him, and whatever else. So, there you have it. So, yeah. So, alright, guys, you know how this works. We hang out in the Simulacrum, and we check out, their abilities and whatnot, see if we can find any differences in them. That's usually how this series works, and whatever else. So yeah. So this is my Vauban Prime, guys. The weapons that are on him are his weapons as well. These are the ones you can get with him. So it's Oxyletto Prime and Fragger Prime. So I figured I would be legit as long as I have weapons. You know, guys, how I am. So if I have the weapons and they're on my in my inventory, then I'll put them on you for you guys, so you guys can see what they actually came with and whatnot. I think they may have changed a couple of them, just an FYI. I think Oxyletto Prime used to be Myrage's weapon, actually, but they changed it to Vauban, but it's possible Vauban always had Oxyletto Prime, but I don't know. I swear they swapped them between them, but it seems like he has those guns and then Fragger Prime as well, so. But Fragger Prime also, yeah, Fragger Prime was for sure on him. I know that for sure, because that was, Fragger and Oxyletto were two of my first Prime weapons I've gotten that were pistols, and then secondary, I mean, and the melee, so yeah. So anyways, this is my Vauban Prime. I kind of went with neutral colors for him. I like the orange on him. I don't know why, but I really, really like the orange and the copper on him, so that's kind of what I picked. So yeah, that's essentially what he has going on him. And he is really cool looking. I have to admit that I do prefer Vauban Prime over his regular version, just like by how their looks are. He looks so much better in a Prime form, so yeah. Yeah, and I do have one of, I believe it's Umbra's stances on him right now. That's kind of why he's standing like that, guys. I've kind of playing with those, seeing if there are any other ones that I have that I can put on other frames. You guys may have noticed that on a couple of my other frames. So yeah, this isn't his actual stance, but I liked how it looked on him. It kind of made him kind of scary and buffy kind of type thing. And this Saidana is his Saidana as well, guys, if you're wondering what it looks like. And it's a really nice Saidana. Really simple as well, if you guys are into that. But yes, so obviously his abilities are on the right hand side. We got Tesla Nervos, Mine Layer, Proton Strike, and Ballista. So the first three are the ones that have changed with this rework. The final one is still his final one, so that one hasn't changed. I think they just upped like its power or something. That's all they did with it. They didn't change his final one though. His final one is exactly the same as it was. But the Tesla one releases is the one with the multiple traps you can put down. They're little trap ball type things. And then Mine Layer. What was Mine Layer? No, maybe that one's the ball. I don't remember. One of them is the one that you can swap between them, and there's like 3 kinds of them. And then Proton Strike is one of my favorite abilities. I'll show you guys why in a second, obviously. And Ballistic, of course. That one is a really good ability as well. Like I said, guys, this is the new reworked version of Vauban. This is not the old version. The original version was a little more trickier to use, I think. So I'm actually glad they changed it. But anyways, so let's gather our stuff. And then let's get some enemies out for us. Let's clear these guys. So maybe we'll pull out some Corpus today, I think. And yeah, I realize, guys, I still need to work on my list for these guys. I'm starting to collect a couple more of them, though. As you guys can see, I've been pulling out Helos every once in a while just to scan these guys, just to get them in here. That's how you get them in here, guys, by the way, if you're wondering. You have to scan them with, like, your Helos or something. Or your, Cypher scanners, I think that's what they're called. That's how you put them in here. You have to scan the enemies, which is kind of difficult if you're not fast enough, obviously. So, let's do some techs. We'll just do all techs, I think. And then it's just easier to stick with one enemy, I find, so we'll just stick with one of them. Alright, let's go. Alright, so, first building. There's the Tesla Neros. These are those are the electric ones. So I believe we have, and these little electric balls follow you around. They just slowly start killing the enemies, essentially. They kind of stop them in their tracks as well. I believe, yeah. So the second ability is actually the one that lets you switch between tracks. So we'll mess with those in the next one. But yeah, guys, you see these little, where did they go? Yeah, see, here's one of them. You guys see these little balls? These are our little ball partners. They follow us around, essentially. And they attack whatever, see, as it's following us around. So they essentially attack whatever enemy's close next to you. And they release like a static electricity charge. So it's really good for Corpus enemies, especially. Because then they can like stun them and spot for you as well. So that's an excellent crowd control one for you if you guys are into crowd control there. And I believe you can keep summoning them. I think you can have a max up to 4. Yeah, you can have a max of 4 on you at a time. So, yeah, so here they are, our little demon balls, I like to call them. So yeah, that's essentially what they do. They just follow you around, and whatever enemies you come across, they'll go up to them and try to lock them in place for you guys with a static shock, is essentially what it does. Alright. So let's gather some more energy. We're gonna have our balls still, just because we have all of them settled here, but it's fine. Alright, so here's one of our first traps. Overdrive, yeah, look, Overdrive seems to got destroyed, which is good. But we still have 3 of them. So let me see here, guys. So the second ability is our mine. Oh, what is it called? The mine one. And what essentially is, it's essentially our traps. So we got a tether coil, which I assume will grab the enemy, and then we got a ballista, or I have no clue what it does. Oh yeah, that one shoots bullets. That one's fun to use. So Liche one is the one that shoots the bullets around. And there is a weapon that does that. It's actually a melee weapon that actually does that. That it shoots around bullets like that. So that one I like using. And then we got a vector pad, which I believe, yeah, it gives you a little pad here that you can use that gets you to one location to the next, which is kind of interesting. So you probably could make a maze with these, actually. Let's try it. That's kind of fun. So it's kind of like a launch pad, sort of, in a way. It only, obviously, it shows you which direction to go. So that is actually a good thing to use if you want to get around the map quickly. So that one is the vector pad, if you guys are wondering. And then we got the overdriver, which I think it powers us. It like gives us a bonus or something. I'm not quite sure what it does, actually, honestly. I think it gives us a slight bonus or something. That's probably a good one to use on your with your allies as well. But that's what overdriver does. So overdriver is the first one, and then we got the tether coil. And then here, let's pull out some enemies just to try our mines here, a little mine weapons here. So let's lessen these guys a little bit. No, let's just do that. I'm out. But I think I still have them over here. Let's see. Yeah, so you notice it's like forcing them onto the ball. They're like slowly dying on the balls, I think. Yeah, so it pulls them in and holds them down. So that's essentially another need to. And then this one is a bullet one. It's pretty deadly if you position it correctly. And I wonder if enemies, if they stand on those, will trigger them as well. Oh jeez, I died. Okay. That's no good, bueno. I was too busy standing around showing you guys my little dangerous mines. Yeah, so that was kind of fun. I never knew we actually had that. See, I don't use the mines very much, guys, so I don't know about this kind of stuff, but... Yeah, so overdrive seems to give us like something. I'm not sure what it is, but it gives you loot or something. Yeah, so we got overdriver and the tether ones, which tether in the enemies essentially, and then collect orb, which is the one that is just an orb that shoots all those bullets, just circles them around for a while, and then the vector pads are the launch pads. Yeah, guys, so he's just been reworked, like I mentioned earlier. So these are his new little mines. And then, of course, our first one was the electric balls that follow us around, our little companion balls. And then we have Proton Blast. And you guys can see why I like this one. Because it is a massive explosion, essentially. So it's like a grenade. Throwing a grenade, essentially, is what the Proton Blast one is. Or the Proton whatever it is called. I think it's Proton Blast. I think it's called. Yeah, guys, so that is essentially what that one does. But let's pull out the enemies just so I can show you how it works. The massive explosion, and it kills a lot of them. So that's a great ability to use if you're getting a little overwhelmed by a crowd or something. And then we have our final Blitz Dash. So it's pretty much an essential like orb of energy that sucks them all in and just rolls them around and slowly kills them. That's a hilarious. It creates a big, giant, massive audience. So kind of like just pulls them in and kills them, essentially. Woo! You launched! You can put a launch pad down there. Yeah, see, you guys can hear them wind up when they're like on top of an enemy, and then they'll shock them. That's what the versatility does. So yeah, guys, there you have it. So there is those abilities. I actually haven't looked at like my regular Vauban in a while. Actually, I did the other day. I was using him like yesterday or something. Just because I got a new skin for him. I like to show off my new skins when I get new skins. I'm weird like that. But yeah. So right off the bat, I've already mentioned this before, we don't usually find much differences in these guys usually. It's usually literally minor ones, but it's still fun for me to go over these with you guys, and I know you guys are watching them, which I'm so thankful for. Thank you for watching them. Makes me want to keep doing them then, just because I know you guys are watching them, so I appreciate it a lot. And of course, I've been giving tips, I know, realize when I'm actually doing them as well, so I think that's probably part of the reason you guys are watching. So I'm more than happy to give you guys tips while I'm doing these videos, just because I have played this game for, I think, 2 years now, I think, is what it says on my profile on the website. So, yeah, so I'm more of a veteran player, I would say. I'm not like a major veteran, but I'm getting to a veteran, is what I would say. So yeah, guys. So there you have it. There is the little lowdown on his actual abilities. So let's see if we can find any differences on the regular Vauban. So this one is my regular Vauban, and this is, I might as well let you guys see this, but this is his deluxe skin, guys, if you're wondering what his deluxe skin looks like. And it's quite a cool skin. It makes him look like a knight. When I first saw this skin, I was like, he reminds me of the Black Knight from Scooby-Doo. Is what he reminds me of in a way. But, yeah, this skin is really quite interesting. I do like it. It's very metallic-y and everything, like you'd expect. And he's kind of built that way, too. He's built like a big, giant knight guy. So there's that as well. But I think I want to use my newest skin on him, so I'm gonna pull out that one. So this is my newest skin I got for him, guys. This is a Tenogen skin, if you guys are wondering. And yeah, you could tell I've kind of been sticking with reds and blacks and oranges for him. This is kind of a weird red. It's kind of like almost orangey red, but it's not quite there yet. It almost is, but it's kind of more red, as you guys can tell. So you can tell I've kind of been sticking to like more metallic-y type colors, and one brighter one, and then the usual black and gray or white. He looks good in these colors. I actually do like these colors, and this was a random color scheme the game gave me, so I just kept it because I liked it. So, this is regular Vauban, obviously, guys. Oh shoot, I didn't spin him around for you, did I? Okay, I'll do that real quick for you guys. I am apparently losing my mind a little bit. Yeah, here's a better look at a Saidana. This is a Vauban Prime Saidana, guys, if you're wondering. This is what it actually looks like. I realized my Vauban Prime, because he was bent over, you couldn't really see it very well, but, yeah, this one has a regular Vauban stance on him, so I believe this is a Noble one. It might be his agility one, actually, I'm not sure. But, yeah, so this is essentially what Vauban normally looks like, essentially, except, of course, this is a skin, so his marks and stuff are a bit different. But, yeah, he essentially looks like a big armored dude, is essentially what he looks like. Kind of like an armadillo. There you go. That's a good thing to point out. He kind of looks like an armadillo. Or a ballistica suit of armor. I think that's what they were going for with his design, is trying to make him like a ballistica suit of armor. That's essentially what they were going for him. So, Vauban, you probably noticed that his shield and his health is pretty decent. This is what I mean. He's a pretty decent frame overall if you guys mod him correctly. His health is always higher, doesn't matter what version it is, but his health is always higher. His shield is pretty close to his health though, which is really good. Because that means he's kind of more of a balanced frame, which is good. So, yeah. Alright, so let's see if we can find any differences. We'll just keep doing the corpus text. So obviously my colors are different on these Vauban. My Vauban. You guys know this. If you guys have started the series from the beginning, you know that my colors are always different on so the balls obviously do the same thing, as you guys can see. Yeah, so his little electric balls do what they're supposed to do, obviously, still. And it's pretty much the same effect, is that what I'm trying to say. Alright, so let's try one of our, that's our plate. So, okay, off the bat, it doesn't look like, oh, it does launch them when they, oh my gosh, like, that's awesome. Okay. So it looks like if they do get towards your little vector pad, get on your vector pad in some way, that they'll actually launch them. So there's that, guys. Which is quite interesting, because I wasn't expecting the enemies to actually be able to trigger those, but apparently they can. So let's try overdrive. Yeah, so overdrive seems to give us a bonus something. I don't know what exactly. Might have to look it up, guys. I'm not sure what overdrive actually gives us, but it seems to give us a bonus in something. I don't know if it like heals us or what, but. And then we got the tether coils. But as I was saying, his effects don't seem to be as bright as the Prime version, which is one thing we kind of been noticing in a lot of these videos, is that the Prime version doesn't seem to be brighter than the and see, you can see the tether's really good. But I think it also depends on probably your energy color as well. Not really better, like brighter or anything like that. And then let's use our little shooting ball. Yeah, so it seems like, just like most of the others we have seen, they're pretty much essentially the same. Just just like I mentioned before, it could just be the colors of difference between my prime and my regular ones, but they don't seem to be as bright on the regular one as they are on the prime one. Like, notice the launch pad, for example. So you see it, but you don't see it as well as the prime one. So I don't know. That's kind of interesting. It's just like a slight color difference, though. I think, but all right. So we're going to use our photon strike. Obviously, it does the same thing. It explodes in their face and launches them, essentially. So that ability, I think, is still my favorite one to use, just because it launches them. And it does serious damage to them. I mean, it killed these guys. They were in the line of blast, so. There's still another guy around here. He's over there. Thank you, Taxon. My Taxon's amazing. Because then he tells me where the enemies are. Alright. Alright, so let's try his final ability, see if anything changes, which I doubt. Like I said, guys, most things changes are very subtle in these guys. There's not much difference in them, really. So really, I'm just doing this video for you guys and also for me to have something different for you guys, of course. Alright, so... there goes our Ballista. Oh, okay, so that's interesting. So the Ballista is different for both of them. So this is what regular Vauban's Ballista looks like. So it looks like the giant net. This is what his Ballista had originally looked like. That's actually quite interesting. Interesting. So apparently they had kept the old original version of the Ballista, Ballet, it's like ballet or whatever it is. I call it Ballista though, just because it's easier, but that's not what it's called. It's called like Blist or something crazy. That's essentially what the word is though, but if you guys notice that his Ballista is actually different than his Prime version. So his Prime version is like, his ability was different. Because he didn't have like the little net energy going around his version. But the regular version does have it. So here, let's take another look, guys, so I can just show you what I mean. So, okay, so maybe it depends where you launch it then. So it must depend where you put it then, because now it's doing the suck-in explosive way. So that's interesting. So that's new. That's definitely new. Oh, okay, so maybe it actually switches between them. See, because this is the net one that I was talking about. Then, if you guys saw this one over here, it was the suck-in and the explode one. This one just holds them in the air, essentially, and kind of sort of hurts them a little bit. That other one does a lot more damage. Oh, it turns into it. What? Wait. Whoa, my mind is blown. What the Wait, okay, so apparently it changes into it? Okay, that's new. I never actually realized that, now that I think about it, because, sometimes it's like the suck-in explosive one, and then it's the net one. So, I think those abilities, before they changed him, were two separate abilities. Like, his, third ability, I think, was essentially that net one. And then, no, the net one was his third ability originally, and then The suckin' explosive one, that one was his final ability. That was always his final ability. So it's interesting that we found that, guys. So we found that Bliss on Vauban's actually can either change or it can only be one or the other. That's actually interesting. I never realized that. So yeah, guys, so we did find a difference after all. Actually, surprising difference since they reworked him. So so there you have it, guys. There is a Vauban for you guys. Like I said before, he's essentially the trap master is essentially what he is. He's good for stunning your enemies, and I would say he's good for crowd control just because a lot of his abilities can cause major damage to a crowd. So I would say he's good for crowd control. But yeah, essentially he's the trap guy. It's essentially what he was made for, and he always has been. And of course, this is his rework version, guys. So there you have it, guys. I showed you the rework version as well as we found that out what Bliss does now, which is kind of weird. So there you have it, guys. There's Vauban for you guys. I know I said this like 4 times now. It's fine. So to that, I will see you guys in the next video.